So far, we've been talking about how our deep core muscles are coordinated to generate and control the pressure inside our abdomen, and that's related to how we breathe. In a nutshell, as the diaphragm descends, our abdominal walls and the pelvic floor eccentrically control to maintain a healthy amount of pressure that is also coordinated with the tension of the thoracolumbar fascia that works like a strong buttress to stabilize our spine. And what we need to remember is that there is a trade-off between the stability and respiratory function of the deep core. So ideally, we should be able to play along this spectrum easily. So to be able to do so, we need to first establish the ideal coordination among the deep core muscles, which are commonly classified. The commonly classified deep core muscles are our diaphragm, and our multifidus, and our transverse abdominis, and pelvic floor. Yeah, so we want to be able to establish a healthy balance among those deep core muscles during the quiet breathing. So what we're going to demonstrate today is how to identify if the client has altered coordination among these muscles and how we can help them correct it. Okay, so first, my friend Cheryl is helping us to demonstrate this. Thank you very much. First, we ask the client to comfortably lie down on their back with their legs bent like this. Go ahead. And typically, I see three things. One is if her back of the lower part of the head, technically speaking, the nuchal line, is comfortably settled down on the floor. Second, if her lower part of the back of the rib cage is comfortably settled down on the floor. Third, if the junction between pelvis and lower back is comfortably settled down on the floor. Right now, it looks really good. If any of these criteria are not met, that usually tells us that their way of coordinating the deep core musculature needs improvement. So we just talked about how we identify ideal posture in comfortable supine position. The next thing that I ask the client is to just breathe normally and quietly as they would normally do. And what I would like to see is ideally that her entire rib cage is expanding 360 degrees uniformly as she breathes in. And as she breathes out, the breathing out becomes very effortless as the rib cage slowly settles back down to the initial position. And she's demonstrating a perfect model for that. And you can also see that her chest wall is not expanding too much because it's a quiet breathing that's usually just done by diaphragm only. When their breathing is altered, I typically see three patterns. One is that their front abdominal wall stretches out without much expansion of the rib cage, which we often call Buddha belly breathing. She's also doing a really good job at faking it. Nice. You can see that her belly is expanding front, but rib cage is not expanding. Second pattern is that she sucks the belly button in as she breathes in, and she's breathing as if she's just using the upper part of the chest only. Okay? And third one is she's flaring the rib cage up as she breathes in, and the rib cage sort of stays flared up as she breathes out. Okay, thank you very much. That was really good. Um, in fact, you may see combination of these three patterns, but I just explained it as if they are three separate patterns just for your convenience. Sometimes it'll be hard for you to see these patterns. If that happens, you can ask them to breathe deeply in and out. That will exaggerate their mistake. But when they do the deep breathing in and out, keep in mind that their chest wall will expand just because this is a deeper breathing, but it should still look like that their chest wall expands because of the rib cage expansion rather than the excessive pulling from the neck. Yeah, and breathing out, if they breathe out more forcefully, there will be activation of the abdominal wall, but it should still look like that the exhalation is initiated by kind of a natural part of exhalation first, rather than just forceful activation early phase of the exercise.